All right, I'm curious about this thing because you said you just got on social media like a few years ago. What, being a gym OG and you've been training for almost all your life, what do you kind of dislike about social media and fitness? Because you're new in the space and you're seeing it all.
Didn't I just say that before?
I'm like, I know the aesthetic side of things and mirrors, but like when you see people putting things forward, what are some things where you're like, fuck that? I'm just curious.
Okay, a couple things I could touch on with this. I'll say it again. Is this the Ken doll look in the gym, right? Wearing like a man where he's like so tan, wearing Gymshark and like posing me with a camera stuff. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Do you have any shame? Or like there's 3 girls on the squat rack, right? And they're in their house. They think they have 3 cameras set up and they're posing. They're doing the same rep over and I'm going, holy fuck, what am I looking at right now? I was blown away.
Yeah,
I can't even, And another thing I want to talk about. Those are the 2, and then while I'm still here. Is with training now. I believe in all the stuff I've done. Basic movements. And yes, for a sport, right? What correlates to the sport? What movements correlate to the sport, right? So I trained this kid I trained, I'm not going to mention his name, trained him all through high school.
Stay a little closer to the microphone.
I trained him all through high school. And he wound up going to a Division I wrestling program, right? When he got there, he texted me. He's like, bro, yo, these kids are 22 out of college and they're making me hold the fucking bowl on a bullshit thing, like doing this. He's like, I don't even know what they're making me do. He went back to my program because it works. Lifting weights and in a certain way.
Yeah.
Not high rep for hypertrophy, you get sore, but in a certain strength way. Old school, basic movements work. Kids come out of college, they try to put too much science and they try to confuse you. Hula hoop, wizard. That doesn't work, bro.
Well, what's up?
Basic movements. Sure. Do you agree with me?
To some extent. I think in my own experience, I deteriorated my own athleticism through lifting, but I took lifting to a pretty far extreme.
You did.
So I think if you do the sport and you lift and you are still doing things that will continue to kind of educate your athleticism, then I think you're fine. And I think you can get a great benefit. But I think sometimes some people might stray and they might really go for that 500-pound squat. And it's like that 500-pound squat's probably not going to help you in your 40 time, the 500. However, aiming for a 400, 500-pound squat could be something that could put a body weight on you. And that might be totally appropriate because you might be a defensive tackle or you might be an offensive lineman. You might need that body weight. And so having that goal of hitting those weights, because we know that by having that goal of doing that kind of weight, that it takes rest and it takes food, it takes recovery, it takes a certain stimulus in the gym. So I definitely would agree with you on that note.
So let me go a little deeper on that. Okay. So when I say wizard, all right, I'm not talking about like, I'm so basic. So you see a lot of explosive dynamic one-arm landmine for punching, for velocity. Works, yes. I'm not talking about that. That definitely correlates and is usable. I'm talking about some really off-the-mark stuff. I'm like...
Like what? Just curious.
I honestly, like, for instance, he explained to me, I didn't get to see it, but he's like, dude, this coach has me holding a kettlebell. I'm standing on one thing and like,
I get you.
That would not make you a better wrestler. I'm going to give you a story. I like stories, right? I'm not going to mention any names. So... one of my friends was a very decorated Long Island wrestler, right? Well, I'm going to West Virginia, and he was talking about this one guy who came in, and my friend was good. He's like, he could out-trick you, out-slick you. He's like, yo, I started going with this guy, man. The guy fucked me up, bro. He's like, holy shit, bro, that never happened to me. He goes, I'm going to come back next. I got him. He goes, it was even worse. He goes, wow, that guy's just better than me. I've never even come across this. Hit the weight room. The guy came in the weight room, couldn't even bench 185.
The guy that was kicking his ass.
Kicking his ass. Came in, weights that correlate this, but came the next day, kicked off his Timberlands with no warm, was clean in 365. Everyone's like, holy shit. Correlate to the sport. Right. So one of my kids also told me went to whatever school, and he goes, yeah, the guy has me benching, I was stuck at this weight, and now I'm benching it for a double. I'm like, why are you doing doubles if you're a wrestler? You're going to blow your pec out. Unless you're doing that on your own, which I don't think so.
It might be too risky.
Doesn't correlate to sport. Now, if you're a football player and you got to push, you got to think about it. Whenever you design a program, leg day first, you do the dynamic day, then you do movements that correlate to the sport, and then a bodybuilding day. Right? That's how you break down the science of a program.
Sounds a lot like a West Side barbell type stuff.
So a lot of trainers for sports performance, they do a conjugate system that correlates, which is great. Dynamic upper, max effort lower, and then you flip it around. Because you only lift twice a week, usually maybe 3, it's because you got to do a lot of skills as a fighter. All right. So now being a good coach and a good trainer, you got to know your athlete, you got to know the sport and the movements that correspond to it. And how you learn that? By doing it and experience. You can't come out of school and tell somebody how to do it unless you do it. That's what I really truly believe.
Power Project family, we talked to you about mouth tape before, and it's time to get better quality sleep, stop snoring, and wake up better rested. Andrew, how can they get their hands on some hostage tape?
You guys got to head over to hostagetape.com/powerproject. You'll receive free shipping plus a free, incredible, awesome bedside tin. Again, hostagetape.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description as well as podcast show notes. Oh,
Whoa,
God.
yes, Daddy.
Whoa.
Look at this. Magic.
I thought something was wrong with the audio, but you just have mouth tape on.
It's called being a ventriloquist.
There you go.
Andrew, got anything else?
Yeah. How about like how has your Instagram or your social media been received? Like, are you getting like majority positive comments, or you still have to deal with like trolls and shit?
So
like
this
that?
is what happened right off the bat, right? It went off so fast. I started reading all comments, and I was like taking that shit to heart. I was like,
Well, in the beginning, so much of it's so positive, and then it just doesn't.
yo, and then like, I'm like, one, I'm like, yo, you didn't read the whole thing. 2, where's your face on there to show your face like a man and show who you are? Coward, right? And then 3, so my guy was like, yo, stop looking at it, bro. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Post it and ghost it. Post it and ghost it. Only until he tells me, yo, go look at something to respond. Negative, positive, and I just answer it, whatever. But like the stupid comments, it used to get to me, and I'm like, whatever.
You just don't read them anymore, huh?
No, I try not to.
I heard David Goggins' take on this more recently. He was on Joe Rogan again, and he said the haters are never going to do it the way that you do it, so fuck them. And I thought that was a really good response. Like the person that is commenting on you, the person that's making the negative thing about how maybe you're teaching the wrong form on a bench press or whatever the fuck it is, their conjecture is towards you. They don't know any better than you. They certainly don't know any better than you.
Denzel Washington just recently said,
yeah.
he goes, anybody who hating you is somebody who's not doing anything themselves.
Yeah, they're
Anybody who's hating on you is someone not doing it themselves.
Yeah, they're
so
not
why
on par
I
with
also,
what you're doing, yeah.
so why I did this also, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit shy on what people think. I stopped giving a fuck what people thought, and it worked out. But I stopped caring. I really didn't. Who cares? Because you're not doing anything yourself. That's why.
right.
You know.
I will say, like, y'all are great because y'all don't read comments. I read comments. It's not good to read comments, but I do. But I do find that, like, you know, sometimes there's some beneficial criticism in there, even though a lot of it is just pretty bad. A lot of it's like somewhat mean, right? Sometimes there's some good shit in there, right? Sometimes some people have some shit to say.
But the percentage is very, very, very low.
Overall, you still probably shouldn't read that shit because, yeah, that shit. People on the internet, they can really dig in. It's interesting.
Yeah. So
I also think, like, you know, you're in this category because your Instagram is you have a lot of posts, you know, and we just create so much content here. It's like I say so much stuff that anything could be taken out of context at any time to make me look whatever way somebody wants to make me look. So that's just the way it is. So I'm not going to try to get into a battle with somebody over that.
I got you. I understand. Yeah.
You know, you communicate so much, you say so many different things, and so are you always going to say the exact right thing?
No, and I'm a horrible critic of myself because I know it's going to happen. I'm going to leave and be like, oh man, I should have said. It's never perfect. So this is the thing. It's just me. Everything's got to be perfect, but nothing in reality is perfect. Nothing's ever a perfect situation or anything. This is another thing. So like also like reading that stuff though and trying to answer in a correct manner and just reading that, it gets to my brain, so I just don't do it.
Yeah.
How do you create content? Is it a lot of it created now just from the comments almost? Like people
asking what
questions?
we do? Okay, so I told him, I go, this guy, so listen, man, I have something to tell everyone because I saw what happened at that party. Like I said, I just don't know how to project it. So we tried something. He came up with these topics to talk about, which had nothing to do with any of the posts. And it was just my mouth going. And he chopped it up and edited it. And then he's like, yo, that worked. Let's do it again. And then I got deeper. And then all of a sudden I started getting 10,000 a day. And then we just stuck with that protocol. That's all we do. We sit down. So now I come up with, I write down something. I have a list of stuff to talk about, pet buys, whatever. And then I just go on a ramble. We have a conversation. Sometimes we start talking about jujitsu, and then I'll pull back to it. It's a conversation. That's all it is.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us. All right? Peace.